Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament livestream, only this tournament isn't quite what you're expecting and what you're used to, because this is not actually an in-game tournament. This is all about basically EU server versus the CIS server. As you can see, which is actually really lovely, the logo that they made for the whole thing, you see that there's just like the map of Europe and then the whole CIS server region as well. I think this is really cool. But yeah, that's like a small thing. We are going to see some very epic gameplay today. As you know, I'm going to be streaming Mercy versus Raid and Raid versus Win after that. And we still have a few minutes before the battles actually begin, but I figured that I'd start a little bit early just to talk over everything. Basically, I'm in the room. I'm actually going to show you that. This is what the room looks like. Raid is steadily coming in. I'm already there. I can't see anyone's tanks yet. They know that there's a 5-minute delay. So all of that is good. And basically we're just waiting for everyone to arrive. Wargaming has been more than fantastic. They've given everyone press accounts on the EU server, so that people have all the tanks at their disposal basically. And that's just absolutely lovely, because that's allowed for this to happen basically. Because right now, if you were to play on the RU server, you would have to start like all over again with grinding and your crew skills and all of that. And by giving people press accounts, you start everyone off in the same on the same level. Everyone has all the tanks, everyone has enough gold and credits and free XP to pretty much get everything and everyone, and same amount of crew skills and all of that. So it's definitely worth it. So yeah, like I said, I will be streaming Raid versus Mercy first, and I'm actually going to quickly grab the schedule for you. There we go. Like I said, I'm starting off with Mercy versus Raid, followed by Raid versus Win. You have Methody in Russian streaming G-Game versus C4 and 7-Star versus EG. You have Fujit streaming in English, of course, Win versus EG, followed by C4 versus Mercy. Rolling Swarm back in action again, streaming 7-Star versus Loka, followed by 7-Star versus EG. And Wild Ones Helper streaming G-Game versus C4, followed by Loka versus G-Game. So that's going to be epic streaming for sure. We've never had this kind of stuff happen before, not online at least. We've only had like one team from this one server versus one team from the other server, with potentially a wildcard teams, so to speak, there present as well. And it's just cool. It's awesome. I like this because, like, as far as competitiveness goes, yes, NA is competitive as well, especially Rain with Mo, their epic caller, and Asia is always a bit behind, so to speak. And it's just like, these are the top 2 servers in my opinion when it comes to tournament gameplay. We have the most competitive teams, like proper competitive. Like, I know for the EU server there's so many teams that could make top 8 and make it work, assuming of course systems aren't rigged and everything, but still there's a lot of great teams. And I know that's the same case for the RU servers. Actually getting to stream this with EU versus RU, well, CIS I should say, but still, that's just going to be epic, and I'm really looking forward to that. Anyhow, not much to say just yet. We are starting off on Port Bay by the looks of it. I have to say I don't know all the maps by head, and I'm probably going to pronounce the Russian names quite wrong. I will do my best to do them justice. In the meantime, I am getting in DM. Basically, just, yeah, like house rules and all of that. There's a 3-minute delay on the stream, and that means that people can't see each other's lineups and stuff. And if you are moderating the chat for me tonight, thank you. Just be aware that because this is CIS versus EU, there will be Russian speaking people, and that's perfectly allowed as long as they're polite. So if you can translate what they're saying, that would be great. And if you are from the CAS server and you are watching this stream, welcome. And if you want any feedback on what you're saying, or if you're asking any questions, know that if you're asking them in Russian, I will have no idea what you're saying. So I will not have the time or the ability to actually check what it is you're saying. So make sure to ask or comment in English if you can. Anyhow, raid is almost ready. Looking at 4 Kranwagens, two T22s in the E5, so that's a lot of Kranwagens. Going up against 2 T22s, a Kranwagen, 2 E5s, a 113 and a 215B. That's a bit more of a different lineup for sure, but the Kranwagens have shown that they can hold their own, and on a map like Port Bay, they can be very deadly, because there's a lot of positions where you can put a Kranwagen and hold down, and also that burst damage, especially when they're working together. That's just going to be epic. So let's see, right now we're just waiting. I'm not looking at the chat actually, because I don't know exactly what is said there and whether or not it's safe. Also know that missiles are not allowed in this tournament, so that's also something. I'm so glad the missiles are gone, honestly. But yeah, overall hoping that everything is working as intended and that the stream will go well, because YouTube, well actually Google was hacked earlier today and everything was offline, including YouTube. So that was painful. But yeah, right now it is back, so I'm hoping that it stays back, and here we go. First battle of this epic matchup between Raid and Mercy. Also Raid following the same avatar with all of them. I actually like uniformity like that. So let's see. Officially, like always, I'm not really supposed to be biased, but hey, come on. You can't be not biased and be completely neutral as a streamer. And let's see how they're all doing. Raid heading towards the seaside. The T-22s crossing the river. But so are the other T-22s from Mercy. And they are spotting each other. Messi losing a little bit of HP going to the corner there. But overall getting away with it quite nicely. And the other T-22s, we have Nerf and 444, are basically holding back and not wanting to gain that corner. They are crossing over, and Raid is punishing them for them and focus firing at that. That is brutal. And now we have JP and Messi nicely situated in the corner, there to hold. It will be difficult for anyone to go at them. They are trying, but basically so far Mercy has lost so much HP, especially with Signa crossing over as well. There goes Blitz in, well, I'm not sure who that was actually, number 8, let's call him that. Nerve is next in line. He can't really do anything here. He is going to die very soon. Crocodile is also gone. And Mercy played very aggressively, but with the burst damage from the Kranwagens, in the beginning that is, because now they're on the long reloads and all of that. But with that burst damage, they are so deadly. We have Kraft, I'm just going to call him Kraft, who is now gone. 444 is a one-shot. We have Pashok that is gone. Basically now we only have, Neveroyatno, who is still left, and he is going to be gone very soon versus this much of an onslaught, especially with Toby getting behind him and actually blocking him. Messi missing that shot, but at this stage it doesn't matter. Raid definitely very convincingly has this match. And did you see that? He actually pointed his gun up to actually up his armor from the front. So that was actually really cool to see. So that is the first match up and over already. That was a very quick game, honestly. Just over 2 minutes long. But damage, it's relatively spread out. I mean, on Raid side, everyone's done above 1k at least. On the other side, it's not that far behind. I mean, obviously they lost, so they did a lot less damage. But what I mean is that even the damage that they did, it was quite nicely spread out. So that is the first match over and on confidently on Raid's side in this best of 7, meaning that the first team that reaches 4 victories is the team that gets the point for this. Because right now we're in a round robin stage, and that basically just means that everyone is going to meet everyone, and I'm a big fan of that. Round robins are for me always like the most honest way to determine top 4 out of a top 8, and preferably have multiple rounds of round robins, but because of the time, basically the pressure and all of that, that's not happened. Basically we see that Mercy has changed their lineup to a 215B, 2 Kranwagens, 2 T22s and 2 E5s, and Raid sticking with the same Kranwagen overload, but it worked very well for them last match, so let's see what's going to happen here now. So let's see. Both teams heading towards the same corner. Again, I'm going to keep on this side this time to hopefully show you the action a little bit better. And now, basically, JP and Messi have to be careful not to fall into the same trap that that Mercy did last game. They're all spotted. They're all there. All the Kranwagens are spotted as well. Messi's lost quite a little bit of HP there. But we have the Kranwagens now in their excellent hold down positions. We have the T22s actually pulling back and potentially going around. Money Dude is going up. The T22 have been spotted crossing over like that. Base C is steadily being capped, but they're not there to cap that, they're just be hold down. However, if they do this, they will have a cap advantage. However short it might be, because I wouldn't be surprised if those T22s will go after base A next. But I actually like this, because this is showing quite some crocodile. This is showing quite some tactical gameplay from Mercy's side, but they're actually returning. They're not going for the base caps. Kraft getting tracked multiple times here, getting those shots in and basically being held in place. 444 now protecting him, but that is also quite expensive, because he still dies though. Messi has to be careful now. The E5 and the Octopus are moving across there, wanting to get Messi out of the way. And Messi knows he has to be careful, but he has a great team behind him, where number 8 is now taking some shots. Sick in a very weird position there, but it seemed to work out to get that shot in. With the Kranwagens on one side, the T22s over here. JP wanting to protect Messi, but at the same time it is costing him quite some HP as well, and now they're both in a very bad position. And Sick coming actually in, blocking JP there. That is not a good thing. 444 losing a lot of HP here. But Messi and Crocodile both disappear at the same time. Sick taking out number 8. But he's now being set upon by multiple people. With the Kranwagens heading after Never Know Yet No, while Sick is being destroyed. And it is 4 versus 4, 4 versus 3. Burst damage from those Kranwagens. And basically, Ray just has to hold here. They just have to be careful, they just have to survive. Money Dude is in a very good position over here. 444 overextending a little bit. Ooh, that didn't pan, but the way that he was moving that position. Mercy not having quite a bit of an answer for Raid's tactical gameplay here. It's like Raid just went into lockdown here. I mean, that's not funny in this time and age, but I mean it as a literal term. With the way that Raid is handling themselves here, with that burst damage from the Kranwagens. And there he goes. Now only Pashok is left. And they have a very, very confident advantage here of a 2-0 to be soon to be. Because, yeah, game is not over, but unless he gets 4 magical ammo racks, which he doesn't, the second game is for Raid as well. I have no idea what I've gotten here. and another thing. I don't know. But look at that. Look at the Kranwagens. They're basically like, I wouldn't say a secret weapon because they've been heavily involved in the whole autumn season and everything. But just that burst potential and then the whole down potential, they have some true armor. I mean, the tank isn't OP, but when you have them in a pack like this, they become very deadly. And when they lose their shots at the same time, as you saw a few times that battle, they're absolutely, well, devastating. As in, they're not devastated, but they're devastating, as in causing devastation. My brain is a bit weird today. I'm doing my utmost best to make this both entertaining and informative, but yeah. So we're moving on to Vineyards right now, and we see a raid now taking 2 E5s, 4 Kranwagen Steel and a Vickers. With the map that is quite a bit bigger than Port Bay. I think that having some speed there is going to be helpful, at least for spotting, and with those Kranwagens behind, that can be very deadly as well. At the same time, we have Mercy now readying up in a T22, and not 2 T22s actually. Potentially 3 AMX-50Bs and 2 E5s, depends on whether or not Kraft also readies up in that AMX-50B. But it is kind of weird, to be honest, with Mercy right now, because the way that they're playing right now is not like the Mercy that I saw in the RU Championship. But I think that Raid has sort of like found the answer to Mercy's way of playing. It is something that I really... that's one of the strong points from Raid, basically the adaptation to another team. When Raid finds their flow... I mean, it's not like they're adept. I mean, every team has their own tank lineups and tactics and all of that. But when you start the game, you sort of need to, like, be prepared to absorb whatever the enemy is throwing at you. And Raid so far is doing that absolutely beautifully tonight. So here we go. It is 3 E5s and 2 AMX-50Bs with 2 T22s on Mercy's side. And so far, especially when those Kranwagens stick together, which they're not quite doing right now, it's like a pack of wolves. Messy, taking base B, always a good call, because basically it is supremacy at the end of the day. And getting that early cap advantage can be very helpful. Blind shot happening into base B. And Messi gets spotted as he gets out. Ooh, that was painful. Kranwagen's now halted. Messi still alive, but he lost quite a bit of HP there. We have the money dude getting a cheeky free shot there. And as Kraft pulls back, he gets another one. Mercy pulling back towards the spawn, potentially wanting to take that city and the second base. But 444 is still in base A. The Kranwagens are still holding. Both teams seem to be biding their time. The Crocodile is at the back in the city and not spotted just yet. Waiting for that other 50B. No, he's actually not there. Sort of like taking position on both sides of the city. With the burst damage that they can do, that's also very deadly. Because this is actually... If they try to trap Money Dude here, that can be very dangerous. Because you can only angle towards one side pretty much. And that means that the other AMX would be able to get the shots in if Money were to take the bait. So right now, both teams are content to hold. They're not really doing that much. Sick is in a bit of a precarious position though. But those 3 Kranwagens, if he pulls back, we have this firepower and Toby of course right behind him. Some damage being done. Sick keeping them nicely spotted, making it hard for Mercy to move. And Mercy seems to be, yeah, kind of caught off guard here. We now have Crocodile moving in. But he gets spotted. And that's going to be very expensive. At the same time though, it's sort of like the sacrificial lamb. Because over there, we have Sick being set upon. And there's only so many tanks that the Kranwagens can shoot at the same time. Sick is not going to be long for this world. Crocodile is still alive, if barely. But Sick, there he goes, but he survived for a very long time. Toby now pulling back, and the burst damage from the Kranwagens has been used up. And that can be very expensive. Crocodile has been taken out, but Toby now in trouble. Against a very healthy 4-4-4, but it's actually Never Royale. I'm sorry, I'm just going to call him Never. That has been taken out. Pashok has been taken out here. Both teams have lost 2 tanks. And base B is being capped. Being stolen from raid here. Mercy finally seeming to having found an answer there. Never gets destroyed. But we have OG not looking too healthy. JP still healthy, but going to lose some health points pretty quickly here. Unless he's very careful. Kraft has been taken out. It is... Basically, it is 5 versus 3. They should... 5 versus 4. But with the bases being stolen, Raid is in a race against the clock. They have to take out the tanks and they have to take them out fast. Whereas it's in Mercy's best interest to basically take out... There you go, money. And now it's 2 versus 2. Base A is being stolen, but unless JP manages to stay in base B long enough and survive long enough, it's not going to do them much good. It is very important for 4-4-4 to die if Raid wants to win. But so far, they're halting. They're taking it back. Blaster, plenty healthy here. Going after 4-4-4. Taking, not taking enough time here. But with base B being captured. And Nerf bouncing. We are at 920 points, but for Mercy that is. Blaster now against 2 T-22s. But they have the bases. As long as Blaster survives. Ooh, this is very tricky gameplay by both teams. Ooh, very well played by Mercy here. It was very, very close. If that shot from Blaster hadn't missed, then this would have definitely been Raid's game again. But look at the damage, nearly 6k damage and 4.5k damage on Mercy's side for the T-22s. The way, I have to say, when you see something like that, you see them, both those T-22s on the sides of the buildings, and they're sort of like trolling Blaster there, and Blaster has no choice but to try and focus on one of them. The other one will be able to get shots in. It's a lose-lose situation. And basically Mercy played really well there. Also, again, by the way, if you're saying something in the chat, if it's Russian, I will not be able to know what you're saying. My moderators will translate and will know whether or not you're polite or not. But basically, if you want any reaction from me, you have to say it in English. So let's see. We're going to the second match on Vineyards, the 4th match of this best of 7. And like I said, I'm not allowed to be biased. But of course I am. I mean, it's my server versus another server. And let's see. Because now we see Raid taking 5 Kranwagen and 2 Spaghettis. Versus 2 T-22s, 2 Kranwagens, 2 E5s and an AMX-50B. Potentially because Pashok seems to be changing. Let's see what's going to take. Dun 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 dun. And he's taking a Kranwagen. Potentially. If he readies up, that is. Whew. Honestly, like I said, it's a 2 and 5B in the end. I do love matches like that with the clever gameplay, yet the Kranwagens like grouping and moving as a wolf pack on Port Bay, and now you have the T-22s coming from two sides, making it impossible for Blaster to carry the battle and take it home. But it was very close, and now with those 5 Kranwagens and those 2 Spaghettis, that is like insane burst damage. Also love that they're taking the same camo, by the way, and which I really like the camo on top of that as well. So let's see. Both teams going for a quick cap with 2 tanks. But looks like Mercy will have a tiny point advantage here. But they do lose a little bit of HP. But that makes it a little more important for the wolf pack to at some point make a move. And let's see. JP holding. Ooh, cheeky shot there. But he is being careful. We have Raid now moving towards the city with the 1 Kranwagen. Of course, only 1 Kranwagen. 444 losing quite a bit of HP going into the city there. Toby losing some HP in return. But now base C is being captured. Thing is though, with Raid having abandoned... Oof, sick! Losing a lot of HP there. And money on his own. That can be very dangerous. Base A is now being stolen. Money is the only one left to defend it. Sick is not healthy. And now we have JP losing quite a bit of HP as well. Sick is taken out. Crocodile is still alive, if barely. And we have money set up on by the 2 E5s. Toby is arriving. But it's going to be very tricky for them. Oof. And now Money only has 1 shot left. They need to take him out. There you go. But that's going to be the end of Money. Because he will not have time to turn in time, basically. So now Raid has lost 2 tanks. But we have Toby. Oof. Big hit. Going after Never. Where we have Kraft is now out. So is Messi. And this is where the burst damage from the Kranwagen. After that, the DPM from the Kranwagen is so low. And that is dangerous. That was a low roll and they're not going to be happy with that. JP. Oof. And now it's only OG that is left. And he's not going to be long for this world. Raid starting off so strong. But then Mercy finding an answer. And getting hugged to death by Pashok in the end. And Mercy takes home their second match and it's now 2-2. Overall, it seemed a lot closer. Well, gun-wise, it isn't, but it seemed quite close. But then, like, the HP started to vanish. And I think that the first 2 matches, Mercy was completely unprepared for the burst damage from those Kranwagens. And they walked straight into that, basically. And that cost them a lot of health and tanks relatively early on. But now, basically the weakness of the Kranwagen is that DPM. And then after you get through the burst damage, it is a lot more difficult to well, survive basically as a Kranwagen. Not in pub battles. I mean, tank is great. But I mean like in tournament battles, it's a completely different thing. So now we have Raid getting ready for the first match on Alpenstadt with 3 E5s. A VK90, a Vickers, a Mouse and a 205B. They're leaving the Kranwagens behind altogether. Potentially. Because they're not quite ready up just yet. And we have Mercy getting ready in a Vigors, 2 Kanonwagens, 2 E5s, a T22 and a 215B. Again, if this is what they're ready up in. And let's see. And there we go, everyone ready. I think we've seen quite some VK90s and they've done a fantastic job. But like all super heavies and rear mounted turret tanks at that, every tank comes with weaknesses and strengths. However, with a map as small as this, they can definitely work out. So let's see, it would actually help to load in. And here we go. Raid holding, Mercy taking base A by storm with the T22s. And now we have the speed boost activated. But all of Mercy is there and that is dangerous. Because not all of Raid is. And I think they're now finding out that basically they might have been trapped here. JP losing quite a bit of HP there. Surprisingly not OG because he was standing out in the open there. Oh! That is some nice crossfire. Both teams have a base. Base B is not necessarily, well, it is being contested, but it's not being capped by either team. And let's see. Mercy holding, waiting for money to drop back low enough to actually get shot. Toby capping the base. But he has to be careful not to lose too much HP for this. Especially not from multiple sides. Base C is now being stolen. We have Nerve coming up behind Toby. Messi losing a little bit of HP there. And we have the E5 responding, wanted to take out those T22s. And this is where things can get very ugly. The Vic is of course the preferred target because it's so light. Oof, Messi losing quite a bit of HP there, but so does Toby. Toby is actually the first tank gone, even though he's a mouse. And I think in this case, the push from Raid did not quite work as intended because they've lost 2 tanks so far and the T22s are both still alive. The fact that they actually split up is, I think, what saved Mercy here. OG not looking too healthy. There he goes, money as well. Blaster. There goes Nerve. Sick, immediately getting caught. Losing a lot of HP and getting tracked there. JP at the back, keeping them occupied. But Sick is now gone and it's just JP and Blaster. And this is definitely going to be Mercy's game. Again, very cleverly played by Mercy. Basically trapping Raid into doing what they into doing what they wanted him to. Very clever gameplay. Having all the team there at base A, getting that crossfire in, then expecting that push at base C and actually just using that, because I thought for sure that with those T22s gone, Raid would basically roll this up and take home the match. But Mercy was prepared for that and they split up their tanks. And that worked out very well. $5k damage between them. Wow. So now it is 3-2. That means that Mercy is now up for a match point. If they win the next match, then they get the point for this matchup. So Raid has to win 2 in a row in order to take home that point. And here we go already with 2 Kranenwagens, 2 Spaghettis, an E5, a VK19, a Vickers versus a 215B, 2 Kranenwagens, 2 T22s and 2 E5s. That was a very quick getting ready. And now we have Raid splitting up a little bit, with Sick heading towards the base A side. And all of the rest of Raid and towards... No, actually, sorry, it's the Spaghettis as well, waiting at the back. Messi getting spotted. Number 8 losing a bit of HP, but Messi losing quite a bit there as well. And now he's going into the city, but he's not going to be set up on there as well, because there's Kranenwagens there. And Messi is basically a sitting duck. He has to run for his life and hope he makes it out, which he doesn't. Oh my god, that was a very quick kill. And Raid will not have been anticipating that. OG also losing some HP. Blaster in a very precarious position. Mercy playing very aggressively, but now, after his first 2 matches, it seemed to be going to be a steamroll for Raid. But now Mercy's like, yeah, we're not having that, and they're steamrolling right back. Winning game after game, 4 in a row. In order to take home this match point. Because right now, with the way that they've already lost 2 tanks, Raid will have a very difficult situation in order to take this home. They've lost 3 now, and 444 is still alive, even if barely. He is taken out, but it will be very tricky for Raid to take this home. Especially when Stick is... Oh, actually that's a nice fire on 8. But now it is 5 versus 3. Bashok is taken out. 4 versus 3. JP getting tracked there is not going to help him. And the Kranenwagen still has their burst damage. Money Dude getting set upon. 444 actually saying GG, well played. And there goes Money Dude, and Toby is the last one left alive. And again, unless he gets 4 magical ammo racks. This was definitely a comeback, yeah. Absolutely. Very smart, cleverly played. This is like... It's almost as if Mercy were using the first 2 matches to just analyze Raid's gameplay and analyze how things were going to be, and then just going forward. That is... Yeah, massive kudos to them. Have to say that. So that is the first matchup up and over, and Mercy has the first point. And Raid will have to fight hard the next round. Let's see. They said they were going to update the scoreboard live. EG has also won their round. Let's see. God, this is like, I'm very bad at reading the points. Let's have a look. I'm waiting for stuff to load. Apparently G-Game wasn't on time. But very, very well played. I mean, like, if you go from a 0-2 to a 4-2 victory, you have to admit that is pretty epic. That was quite a comeback. It's just like I said, it was like they were analyzing Raid's gameplay, and the burst damage from the Kranenwagens, that was so epic and did Raid such favors the first 2 games. Then after that, just worked a lot less for them. So that means that I'm out of this room. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Did I just get it 3 times, honestly? Yeah, I did. Okay. But yeah, that's the first match up and over. Let's have a look. Is the rest. Like I said, the site is going to update. Yeah, Mercy got 4 points. Oh god, seriously. My laptop, I love it. I really do. But it is quite slow. So basically, EG won versus Win and Mercy won versus Raid. We're still waiting on 7-star G Game, C4 and Loka to get their scores. And I'm just going to be showing you a replay between now and then. That is, of course, if my laptop works with me and lets me open the folder for it. Like I said, I have to be very patient with my laptop in between things when I want it to do things. Because everything is a bit of a chore for it. Let's see. I'm not sure if this one still works, actually. Actually, I can check that. Oh, no, it should. I've been very curious to see this battle, actually. So, actually, I've been saying that word so much, sorry. Let's see. Since we can't really see anything else anyway yet. Here we go. But just that I love the first the wolf pack of Raid. That was epic to see, and then you had the T22s from Mercy, like the trolling and the working together and all of that. It's just beautiful to see. Thing is, Michelle just said in the chat, Mercy have a lot of aggressivity and strats. Yes, they do, but it was the strats here that got them the wins, not necessarily the aggressive gameplay. It was the counter moves. Like you have in the Hunger Games movies, moves and counter moves, and that's exactly what happened here. It's great to see. I love gameplay like that. Both sides. So let's see what's going to happen here. I have no idea how that panned actually. Probably neither does he. Aw, he's just being farmed. And so far he's gotten quite lucky. Not taking any damage for it. And another pen where I'm like, how did that even pen? No, he's just waiting. This is a tank I haven't played in ages actually. I really should, because it used to be like the T9 tank to drive. Because it was so OP. Now he's taking his first hit. And he has to be a little bit careful here. Because you want to preserve your HP. That is a 2 HP kill. Well, I'll take it. He's done nearly 2k. Oh, there's a T34 all of a sudden. That misses, so that's a good thing. And he has a team. Panther moving in. Oh yeah, I'll show that. I logged in on my press account today. And I got a notification that 1 million gold was added. That was just really funny. Probably shouldn't find that nearly as funny as I did, but I did. Ooh, oh, that's a good bounce though. And he has to be careful. Ooh, that is a good fire to have. Because they're not looking all too healthy. And with an AML2 and a Yaktiga over there, along with the VK, that's not going to be easy to take out. He needs to find a position where he can actually shoot them if he can. That works. As long as DVK... I was just gonna say as long as DVK is still alive, but he is not. Oof, only track. By the way, again, if you want me to react to anything, you need to talk in English. 4.4k damage done. And it's rapidly going up. As long as he stays unspotted, as long as he's careful, he might be able to have this. He's still unspotted, which is a good thing. Oh. Oh god, their suit just went complete YOLO. And at some point you have to move in. Because that VK is getting way too many base points here. Let's see. You have to be careful as well with going down. There you go. That's the most important thing. First kill shot. There you go. Base reset. But where is that Emil? It is dangerous to stay here. I can tell you that much. Because oh, there he is. Ooh. Nearly 7k damage. Are you kidding me? There you go. Let's see. Yeah, but he has to be careful. He has to be very careful. Flying. Ooh. That is very expensive. What he did here. Ooh, 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 ooh. So close to having the most epic game ever. And you might have lost it. Oh no! Ah. Oh. And then shooting the corpse, that's just adding insult to injury. 7.2k damage in tier 9, that is freaking awesome, honestly. Oh, but that's so sad though. Amazing game. Just a little bit of impatience at the end. That's the only mistake he made. Let's see. I'm just going to prepare myself for the next room in a little bit. Let's see the scoreboard. Okay, now we know. So far we have... It actually loads on its own, but then my page starts to reload. 7-star G Game, EG and Mercy have all won their matches. C4, Raid win and Loka lost theirs. Actually, all the winners get 4 points and people that lose get... Not sure how that works actually. Let's see matches. How does it say it went? Mercy versus Raid was 4-2. They have EG versus Win. That was also 4-2. Oh, that's how it works. Okay. 7-star versus Loka was 4-2 and G Game versus C4 was 4-3, sorry. And that is why C4... Yeah, basically every victory that you have gives you a sort of point. So you get like a point for the stat win and you get a point for a match win in a way. So now we just have to wait about 15 minutes more before we get the next matchup, and that will be Raid versus Win. Let's see. I've got some more replays. I'm actually quite curious about this one. Especially since I know that Daniel was actually watching. Let's have a look. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Oh, that was that game. That was with me. Yeah, I know this game. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. It was a great game. I noobed out like no tomorrow. I was at some. Well, I'll tell you when it happens. Let's just say I did not do well this game. Actually, I don't mind because it was actually a very fun game and very fun tune at that. So let's see. You can't actually see platoon chat, but I was actually typing you, which is why you get like this awkward traffic jam thing. Women can't drive and all of that. I'm a big fan of that spot actually, staying there and spotting. And just letting my team do the damage. I don't really watch stats much. I like manipulating the battle into a win. And if that is because I just spot people, that's fine too. There you go, Death Star has been spotted. And now he's in a quite nice position. Able to get some shots in. Nearly ammo wrecking the VK. Now here, you saw my dropping down. I got stuck on a rock there. And then by the time I could finally move again, I got Death Starred. And that did not do me much good. So like I said, I noobed out this battle like no tomorrow. Oof, cheeky shot there. And there I go. Taken out by the other Death Star, because why on earth would it help me? There you go. Death Star taking out a tiny one shot for everyone. And now Daniel was actually typing back to me because I said I noobed and I got stuck on a rock, and he said oof. Oh my god, that was so weird though. He's not doing too good HP wise. Ooh, that helped. And then he has to be careful. He barely survives this. But he does kill him off, and then you still have 2 Death Stars left, so that's Let's see, he does not have that much HP left, so I'm actually quite curious to see this again. Let's see, there you go, found a Death Star. Load a shot into him. And this is the cheeky thing. He's just casually ignoring the Death Stars that are like right in front of him to shoot that VK repeatedly. And penning him repeatedly. So then the VK moves forwards. Wanting to reset the base maybe. And he's just casually waiting. Even though there's 2 Death Stars in front of him. And there's the VK, and that's the end of the VK. This is a funny thing. Apparently that is called lucky. He kept backing into his line of fire. Yeah, exactly. It's just like people get so salty when they get killed for absolutely no reason. I mean, look at the damage he's already done. He's done 6k. There you go. Gets a little bit more damage. Not the kill, but 6.5k damage. And of course, he's lucky bot for doing that much damage. No, but seriously, Daniel, you did really great there. Very well played. And look at my nub meme. Oh, that was really funny though. A little bit of assisted damage as well. Overall, just a really nice game. So let's see. That's 2 games gone. And we still have about 10 minutes before the next matches start. I'll show you one more game. And I'm going to show you this one. I have no idea what it's like. But I know that the person that got it was so happy to get this game. So I think it's worth a watch. Let's see. I actually recently bought this tank as well. And I free speed the whole line because I just couldn't be bothered grinding it. So I used to search for it and all. But actually I'm not a fan of dirt, but the Death Star can be quite funny to drive. So now she's actually in the line of fire of her teammate, so that's not really a good thing. Let's see. AP loaded though, not hash. There you go, that's hash. Just waiting for that tank to pick up and over. And without the missiles, they can't actually shoot you anymore without exposing themselves. Come on. You know you wanna. This is the only downside of TD gameplay, and basically nothing is happening in them. People camp. I do like that she's not actually shooting before having an actual target though. And being able to confidently shoot them. Let's see. I mean, this is like, I don't play my Death Star like this. I play my Death Star very aggressively. And that generally works out very well for me. There's the waffle spotted again, but still behind the house, so not actually able to shoot them. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to get the result that I've understood that it has. Because they will have to do something epic for that. They will actually have to fire a shot for that. So far that's not happened. That works. That's the first shot in. Always dangerous to cross over a little bit place. Oh, that is a derp. Let's see. He wants to keep his teammate. She wants to keep his teammate alive, of course. But let's see. 2 kills in so far. But like I said, I'm very curious to see how this is going to get the result that I'm told it has. Oof, that is the end of the teammate. And that works. So we have an E4, a Leo, and a waffle. And that Leo is the most dangerous one here. For our Death Star, that is. Oh, that helps. 4 kills so far, 3.1k damage. But now we're actually in a more exciting position for the Death Star. Seeing as she's now in a Kolobanov situation. Oof. That was a derp. But that was also a nice bounce. There's the E4. And another bounce. That that is one lucky Death Star, not gonna lie. And a derp. Most important part is to not let that Leo. And again, a bounce. That is just wow. There you go. This is like a very big potato, Leo. Also trying to shoot HE at a Death Star. Which, yes, it is HEable, but not that HEable. But this is a very big potato. Okay, I understand the results now. Oh my god. Honestly. I mean, definitely congrats on the ace. But if the E4 and the Leo had had any sort of brain, she would have lost this. Especially that Leo was completely brainless. But yeah, 5.6k damage, 6 kills. Lovely. Okay, let's go and find our next room. Let's see. No, that's... I'm so used to that. There we go. Raid already completely present. Win on the other side. And we did just get a notification, I believe, that the room is up. There you go. Yes, that's the one you uploaded, Mutsu. Well, Simon, regarding Daniel's game, by the way, with the guy that called him lucky for killing him. It wasn't lucky with the VK. It was lucky that the Death Stars were occupied by other things, of course. But the VK called him lucky for killing him because the VK was actually looking at him and Daniel was just ready for him. And so yeah, that was just funny. Let's see. In the meantime, Raid is already completely there, but not yet ready. And Win still needs a few people. And we are starting off on Fort Despair. Small, tiny map that it is. I'm actually not a fan of it. I mean, for the low tiers, by all means, I don't mind it. But like for tier 10, it's just, it's so tiny. So let's see. Just waiting for everything to get ready, basically. Not much to say at this stage. And I'm going to stretch my legs a little bit. The only reason that I say that is that my health sucks, and if I sit in the same position for a long time, everything cramps up. So I generally start saying things like ow when I have to stretch and all of that. So usually I just say what I'm doing so people know what I'm doing before they suddenly hear painful sounds and stuff. But yeah, now we are just waiting. As I said, Blaster will not be able to share the missile because missiles are not allowed. And I can understand, because on Fort Despair the missile could work very expertly, especially when you get around the base, like where the encounter base is, that area. It can work out very, very well. So, now both teams are there, steadily getting ready. And Blaster has gone for the IS-4s. So we see 5 IS-4s and 2 Kranwagens on the Raid side. And on the other side we see 2 Kranwagens, 2 VK90s, 2 E5s and IS-4. And we see 3 IS-4s and 3 Kranwagens now. Or maybe not. Depends on if Messi is going to change or not. Someone just said, show your statistics, please. My statistics, he would be absolutely useless. because this is my press account. So that means that basically I use this account purely to stream tournaments and to test tanks, as in like new lines and all of that, just try them out. And so my stats for this are very useless. I could actually show my stats on my main account after this if you insist, but it's like easy to find. And because of my health, I can't focus to save my life, which is also how I got stuck on that rock. So yeah. But now both teams are ready. Lots of Kranwagens, nice force. And here we go. Raid again, using all the same avatar. Let's see. We have Win heading towards the middle. Raid basically going for a similar. Let's see. Kranwagen heading towards base. Well, not necessarily encounter base, I should say. Toby and someone getting spotted. OG ready for people going to the corner. Someone from north being very cheeky here and going for an early cap. If he gets away with that, that would be so cheeky though. Lay's losing a little bit of HP, crossing over, and they've now capped base B. And Win seems to be pushing. This is a very cheeky move by Win. Gabe losing a little bit of HP as well. They are trying to shoot money here, but he's nicely held down. And all Win has to do really is just hold down and dig in and stay there. But as neither lineup has any fast tanks, it's actually hard for them to send anyone away to get base C, which is free for the taking. But if you do that, you lose a gun for such an amount of time that it will be very difficult for people to, well, to actually hold for the rest of your team, because that means the other team has a gun advantage and they will know that. Rambo pulling back. Raid so far has been steadily clipping away at the HP, bit by bit, and that is very clever gameplay overall. And now base C is being kept in. There is an immediate reaction here. Ollie, however, he is an E5, so he is relatively fast in it. And now Win has 2 bases, Raid has none. But they have lost quite a bit of HP. They need to be a lot more defensive. And they're just not. And that is the dangerous part here. Win now moving in, making a push when they really did not have to. I do not understand this. Lace is almost gone, is now gone. Gabe have lost a lot of HP. Messi is losing HP. Kuma is almost gone. Kuma missing that shot. Torpy is gone. So is Kuma. Raid, all still alive, all still, well, not Messi. Most still relatively healthy. Win made this push for absolutely, I don't understand. They didn't need to. All they had to do was dig in and hold. And they did not. Rambo is now gone. Only Summon and Ollie are left. I mean, I adore Win for their out of the box thinking and their not standard tactics and all of that. But this is more like, hey, we have a present for you for Christmas and it's this first game. And that's just, it's kind of sad. It wasn't necessary. So here we go. Ollie, last one left alive versus 6 raiders. And there he goes. First game. Confidently to full raid. Even though it was not needed. Look at that. Nicely spread out damage on Raid's side again. So that is the first game of this best of 7 over. Anything can still happen. Let's see what they're going to take for the next game on Full Despair, because you kind of hope for a different lineup now. Not necessarily for Raid, I mean it definitely worked out for them, but like on Win's side, the VKs did not really work. I mean, if you're not going to use them as holding monsters, they have less of a function, let's put it that way. It's not a mouse at the end of the day. So let's have a look. I have to say, I find the amount of people that are asking for keys quite amusing and irritating at the same time. No, there's not any keys for watching this stream. The only pleasure, the only reward that you get is just the pleasure of watching epic gameplay between top clans. But yeah, we have Raid still ready in 3 Kranwagens and 4 Ice 4s versus 2 Kranwagens, 2 E5s, 2 Ice 4s and a T22 medium. They're leaving the VKs behind, which I think is a good call here. And let's see. I still don't understand why they didn't just dig in. But here we go. Kuma heading towards base C. Raid and the rest of Win heading towards the B area again. And don't get me wrong, that can work out very well. As long as people hold. All of Raid on the outward side. Someone again going in for an early cap. And he might get it again. Gabe. Somehow no damage has been done yet despite the shots being fired. And again Win gets that base. And we have Kuma at the back now going after base C. Rambo losing a little bit of HP, so does Ollie. And Win is now pulling back a little bit. Torpy has to be careful not to pull back into the line of fire of people, which he has done a little bit here. Gabe is holding, pulling back. Torpy is a little bit stuck, but they have 2 bases. All we need to do is hold and survive. I mean, it is Raid. That push will come. They will try to bleed you slowly in between. Someone crossing over. Not sure why. Because you have Sick here. Sick now being set upon by Ollie and by someone. But the rest of Win is losing quite a bit of HP. Sick losing more HP now. And getting tracked. And there he goes. But now Raid is moving in. Into both bases. Rambo is isolated. They will have to burst damage very effectively for this to work. And not block each other. Torpy is almost gone. And he is gone. Rambo getting the blip out of there. They still have a base, but Money is trying to get it. And he might get away with it too. Rambo on his own and isolated. Kuma moving in, but base B has been capped. And any HP. Oh, he got deleted. Base B now being stolen again. They're going after OG. There he goes. Gabe taken out. Rambo not looking too healthy. Going to be gone at the next reload of pretty much Naro, I think it will be. Naro is giving chase. Lace not looking too healthy. Ollie, of course, relatively juicy as well. HP wise, Raid has too many 2 strong tanks left. This is another game for Raid here. 3 versus 2. A juicy E5 a nice 4. And someone will not be able to hold the mouth on his own. And Ollie is too juicy and has too little HP for it as well. I mean, look at the difference. There's like a 4k difference in HP left. Someone taken out by Toby. And now we only have Ollie left. And Naro is going for him. Ramming him a little bit. But it's not going to be enough to save the game. And there he goes. Second game. Confidently for Raid. And it started off a lot better. Win again though. They were too aggressive. They didn't dig in. But Raid just brilliantly going for those 2 bases. Taking both B and C away from Win. That was a very clever move. And it's sort of like it forced a reaction from Win. And that in this case allowed Raid to take it home. So let's see 2-0 for Raid. And we are moving on to Oasis Palms. And let's see what they're going to take for this map. Overall, the matchmaking so far has been quite quick. It seems to all be going very smoothly. So massive kudos to the organizers for this tournament. Which is all on the CIS server side, to be fair. They've done a brilliant job. It took a little bit of time to get everything communicated and all. But it has been very clear and it's just lovely. So now we have Raid ready in 2 Kranwagens, a Vickers, 2 E5s, a VK and a Spaghetti. And they're going to go up against a Kranwagen, 2 T22s, 2 E5s and... Let's see what they're ready up in. If they take these tanks, it will be nice for an E5 obviously, but yeah. Let's see what they take first before we call it. And there we go. Let's see. Someone from North not quite happy with this tank, but there we go. And I think that means we're going to go into the 3rd battle of this match of 7 soon. On a new map. And let's see if Win can take home a game as well. Because, like, there was a football match not long ago. Well, I think last year somewhere. But where the Netherlands won against a team with, like, or one team won from another team in any case, with, like, 11-0. No one deserves that. You kind of hope at some point, like, I'm not saying that Win is that far behind, but... You kind of hope that the enemy team takes home a point as well, just to make it more fair and even. Rambo going for the cap. Ollie also getting spotted. Messi taking a bit of a hit there, and another one. Even though the base gets reset, Messi is losing quite a bit of HP for it. And they blindshot where Toby was. That was clever, but it's not going to win them. And then almost exactly the same time they cap. But now Messi. Oh my god. Almost gone. And with the Kranwagen just waiting for him to get spotted again. They know where he's going to be at. Ooh, that blind shot. If he... Oh my god, he still gets taken out. He got stuck then. Just looking behind too much. And getting stuck against that rock. Oh, that's so sad. That's something no one deserves. So let's see. Both teams hold the base confidently, but now Raid is a gun behind. There's only there's a 1.5k thereabouts HP advantage for Win, which isn't that much, it's just a few shots. Raid is rotating a little bit. And we have Kuma heading towards the back, but not quite confidently. He's hightailing it out of there with the Kranwagen heading towards him. Raid is dug in nicely. And right now, Win doesn't need to do anything. All they need to do is hold. And Gabe is in a very precarious position here. It doesn't have to be bad. But if they had anyone over there, but then Kuma would have seen them. Then yeah. This tournament is EU server versus CAS server, but it is played on the EU server. Every team got press accounts on the EU server to be able to play this tournament, so that's actually really cool. Let's see. Everyone's still waiting. But now we see Raid activating their speed boost. They're going to go for something. Someone from North has been spotted. He's the tank that they need out and taken out. And we have Win going, basically getting ready. Ooh, big hits into someone. RNG is not with Win here. And the VK90 immediately is getting set upon by the mats in the E5. Someone from North is not going to survive for much longer, but it's actually OG that gets taken out first. Someone is still alive. Just don't ask how. But there he goes. Base B gets taken. Lace is moving in. Blaster is getting murdered. Win is taking home this game, I dare say. They have 2 bases. We're at 900 points. The Mets are now coming in. Sick is being taken out. Nado is next in line. And then we still have Toby and Money, but we're already 1k points and Win takes home a game. Like I said, you always hope that the enemy takes home a game as well. And they did. That is beautiful. Well done. Now whatever happens, hats can be held high. So that was a pretty... Well, it was like slowly building, and then people are sort of like tentatively feeling where other people are, and then I think they expected more people to be where they were. The speed boosts that Raid used were sort of useless because there was only one tank there. And they couldn't take him out as fast as they wanted because A, it was not his fault, and B, he was behind the dune. But yeah, as for this tournament, it's the Blitz International Cup, community run. People wanted after the online finals and all, a top 4 of one server versus top 4 of the other. Legion decided not to partake. That is why we have Win here. But Win is always joy to see play because they're always thinking out of the box. And they're now taking a Kranwagen, 2 T22 mediums, 3 E5s, even an IS4 versus a wolf pack of Kranwagens again. A Vickers, a 215B and a VK90. And let's see what that's going to bring them. Dun 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 dun. And let's have a look. Win heading into the desert. The Kranwagen Wolfpack actually splitting up, half going desert, half going A, or not necessarily desert, but at least holding at the back. Kuma being quite forwards. Quite dangerously so, but is spotting DVK there. This is going to be dangerous for Kuma. Ooh, they shoot the sand, and he will have seen that spatter. He is losing HP for it. And he is losing a lot of HP for it. And then he decides to go after the Vickers, but those Kranwagens are still there. Kuma, what are you doing? The Kranwagens have been spotted, but that cost him so much HP. And now Rambo going absolutely Rambo here. And Rambo is still alive. But we have Blast arriving there. Kuma is not looking too healthy. Rambo is hightailing it out of there, which is a very smart move here. And Kuma still being alive is giving win that advantage here. Blind shots happening. They know those Kranwagens are there. And now we have the VK wanting potentially to go to the middle. They know where those Kranwagens are, and that's always dangerous. Someone from north is on his own. He has to be careful. He takes a shot there and then pulls back behind the building. The Kranwagens are now making a move, wanting to go into the desert, but probably thinking it less defended as it actually is. They have that burst damage though. I'm not sure who they're going to be gunning for. Shots are being fired. Rambo safely behind the rock there. Money taking a bit of a hit as well. Basically, I always am told to keep moving. We have now OG moving into the base. Someone from north is not going to be able to reset it. And now we have Ollie and Gabe moving in against Money. But they need to make those shots count. Otherwise that base cap and someone being alone there is not going to be good either. Money gets taken out. That's the second tank from Raid, but Kuma is still very low HP. And Win is not in a good position here. Sobi, almost gone, gets taken out. But Raid has two bases. Rambo gets taken out. Kuma still alive, just don't ask how. And now we have someone being set upon. Thing is that with Raid having two bases, the fact that they have less players isn't even going to bother them that much unless Win manages to pull some magic out of the bums. Which is what they're famous for, but it will be very difficult for them to do so. So many low HP targets. Only Lace has a decent amount of HP left. And he is going to get Kranwagened. Oh! That was an ammo rack. Oh. Oh, poor guy. Honestly. And he was literally the only one left that had any decent amount of HP. Torpy gets taken out. Someone. And there we go. A Raid has it. Getting to 1k points already. Kuma losing so much HP in the beginning of the battle. Actually surviving. But that ammo rack on Lace, that was just evil. For stuff like this, I'm a fan of RNG. But ammo racks can be so mean. I remember earlier in the Ultimate season, there was a full HP ammo rack relatively early in the battle, and it immediately sets you back so much. So now it is 3-1. Raid is up for a potential match point. If they win the next match, then they have the point and win the match. And Win has to win 3 in a row, so that's going to be very difficult, especially with Raid in the shape that it is tonight. So let's see. We're moving on to Hallis. Small map, very small map. Let's see. Now Raid is ready with 2 IS-4s, 3 Kranwagens, a E5 and a Spaghetti versus potentially 1 Kranwagen, 2 T-22s, 3 E5s and an IS-4 if this is what they're going to stick with. And they seem to. Again, the burst damage from the Kranwagens, the wolfpack from Raid so far has worked out very well for them. Even though Mercy was at some point like, yeah, we got you figured out now. So far against Win, it is working as intended again. So let's have a look. Here we go. Raid heading more towards the middle, going to meet someone there. That sounds so weird, but you know what I mean. Win, focusing on the C side. Getting spotted but not losing HP for it. T22s are capping base C. I wonder if they're going to get away with it with the Kranwagen and the E5 behind there. And unlike random pop battles, these players know how to reset with HE, but they managed to get away with it. They just have to be careful not to get shot from this city side by blaster as just happened to Kuma. The rest of Win holding. Rambo and Kuma now unspotted, getting away from there. Gabe taking their position. Gabe now getting spotted as he goes up. That could potentially be tricky, but he manages to get away with it. Let's see. Oof. And getting tracked there. He does manage to survive though. Only losing one bit of HP. Base A has been capped. Potentially Rambo is going to take base B. No, he's actually resetting A. Clever. So I'll be losing a bit of HP there. So that's sick. Overall now base B is being capped as well, and that will give Win a pretty big advantage, assuming that they can hold it. Because now with 3 tanks there, Raid seems to be making a move here. Gabe is actually in a very horrible position here. OG has been spotted. And this could be very tricky. Gabe losing a lot of HP, actually pulling back into the line of fire from his enemies. Gets him taken out. OG got set on fire. And lost a lot of HP as well and is gone. Both teams have lost the tank. HP wise, Raid has a slight advantage. Base C has been taken. Ollie now very low on HP. In trouble. The rest of Win is arriving. But they will need to wolf back and focus fire very well in order to take this home. Base C is being stolen again. We're at near 700 points for... Ooh, messy. Bouncing that shot is very vital. And now, taking out Ollie, that gives Raid the gun advantage. However slight that, however short that lasted. Nado gets taken out. Messi now being set upon. We're at 800 points for Win. Torpi has to be careful. Someone has been taken out. And they're focusing on multiple targets, which is a little bit tricky here. Toby has been taken out. Messi has been taken out. Rambo is still alive, if barely. And he is not focusing. He's not being focused on. Which is actually allowing him to get the base. But at this stage, Muddy Dude will know that against 4 guns, it will be very tricky for him. Even though Kuma is now actually getting in his teammates' way. And keeping them from shooting the target. But there we go. And it is 3-2. Win. Taking home another match that way. Well, at about 3k damage between, well, 3.5k damage between the teams. It really seemed to be going in Raid's direction for a very long time, even with the cap advantage that Win had. And I thought for sure that with the way that Raid was pincering and Win got called out in the open, that this would actually be going to Raid. But Win took it home, so well done. So for the 6th game of this best of 7, we're going to Helles again, of course. And we see Raid getting ready in 2 IS4s, 2 Kranwagens, 2 E5s and a Spaghetti versus 1 Kranwagen, 2 T22s, 3 E5s and IS4. So let's see how that's going to go. Again, still a match point for Raid. If they win this next match, then they have to match up. And let's see. I'm actually loading in on time. That's a nice change. And here we go. Win again going for the seaside, leaving base A behind. Raid again going for the seaside as well, but a bit more to the middle. Wanted to get that crossfire in, which is generally working out very well for them. And giving them a lot of early damage. T22s going for that early cap again. No, they're not going to cap. Lots of lines of fire here. Rambo capping alone, and that could potentially be dangerous. Yeah, he gets a cheat a little bit there. And that's kind of... is probably not what Win had intended. And we have Win now already pushing. Taking the one gun advantage on this side as a big enough advantage to take out those tanks. But they will have to focus fire hard in order to do this. They are so far shooting the same target. Sig gets set on fire. Poor guy. He's still like, oh, there he goes. And now we have Naro being set upon. Gabe and Laze have lost quite a lot of HP though. Naro, was that another fire? Honestly. I mean, one ammo rack is unfair, but so many fires is very unfair as well. Gabe, not looking too healthy. The focus fire is a big gone, but that's mostly because Raid is very spread out. OG has been taken out. Gabe is still alive, but that's not going to be for long, not with Messi arriving there. Blaster getting that hit in, but there goes Gabe. And there goes Blaster. Kuma dropped down, taking quite a bit of a hit, and is taken out. And it is 3 versus 3. It's all about taking out these guns here. And that face-hugging a Kranwagen is not the thing to do, honestly. There goes Messi though. Money is being set upon. And let's see. And there goes Toby, and there goes Money. And Win takes home another match, and it is 3-3. We're going to go to a tiebreaker. Oh my god! I'm not sure what is up with me, because both matchups so far, they've started so strong. And honestly, with the way that things were going in the beginning, I thought that this would be a landslide victory. Not like this game, but like the whole matchup would be a landslide victory for Raid. And now Win's brought it all back, and we are at a tiebreaker. So let's see, we are going to switch map. We are going to Winter Malinovka. And let's see what's going to happen here. Very interesting matches so far though, I love that. Let's see. A raid now almost completely ready. With 4 if, oh maybe not, they're still changing things around. 2 VKs, a Kranwagen, 3 E5s and a Spaghetti. Versus a Kranwagen, a T22, a Vickers, potentially 3 E5s and an IS4. So let's see. Match should start soon. For the tiebreaker. Taking 2 super heavies though, that can be a bit tricky. Mainly because you get the strength of the armor and everything, but you also get the downside of the very low mobility. And here we go in the last match of this evening. Win versus Raid. Who's going to take home this point? We have Toby and Rambo going off to face one another. Blind shot by Rambo, gets himself spotted but does no damage. The VK's actually holding a bit in the middle. Base B is unobtainable. But we have those E5s at the back, and that is very dangerous for Win. Toby now taking base A. I wonder if Win is suspecting anything here. We have Blaster ready to hold base B. And that is dangerous. Let's see. Those E5s are not yet spotted. Now they are though, and they are moving in. Oh, Rambo. Rambo is being murdered. He's not quite alone. Not as alone as Raid probably hoped he would be. But he's lost a lot of HP here. And it's all he can do just to survive. Win now, responding, sensing the gun advantage here. The VKs are still far behind. And that will give them an advantage as long as they manage to use it and use it well. Sig getting tracked there. Being absolutely hammered. And let's see. There goes Sig. But Win is losing quite a bit of HP themselves. And shooting different targets. That's always a very dangerous thing to do though. Kranwagen has lost a lot of HP. Someone from North still alive, if barely. Torpy lost a lot of HP. Torpy losing more HP. We have Blaster now arriving, going to take him out. And there he goes. It started off very well for Win, but they did not focus fire. Their focus fire is lacking. There goes someone. Messi still alive. Rambo almost gone. Rambo taken out. So there goes Messi. Naro not looking too good either, but there he goes. Both teams have lost 3 guns, but HP boys, there's a 2.5k HP advantage. And now also a gun advantage for Raid. Toby has been taken out. Kuma surviving with 1 HP. I kid you not, he has 1 HP left. And I should actually hope that he's going to go for bases rather than anything else. Kranwagen is giving chase though, and with him being in that position, the E5s versus the VKs, that's not going to end well. There goes Kuma, and this is definitely the Raid's game now. They're not going to survive this. And Raid takes home the point. But what games they were though. Very well played both sides. I think in this case it's Raid responding faster than Win gave them credit for, but also the lack of focus fire from Win here that cost them the game. The fact that they sort of like split forces and then started shooting different targets. Had they stuck to the same targets, might have been a different story. But Raid took this home very deservedly, so what games, honestly, love it. 3.5 minutes there. 4-3 final score for Raid. Raid versus Win. Actually should leave the room, shouldn't I? There we go. And let's have a look. I'm going to look at the scoreboard here. So far, that means that... Okay, I keep refreshing the page even though I don't need to, because, like, logic. I keep telling you, I keep my brain derp. So, G-Game has won both matches so far. So has EG and Mercy. Raid has won 1, lost 1. 7-Star has won 1, lost 1. And C4, Win and Loka have not won any games yet. But this was only the first day. We still have 2 tournament days left. And let's have a look for you. I'm going to look at the schedule. So for round 3 on Wednesday, we will have G Game versus EG. That will be streamed by both Methody in Russian and Rolling Swarm in English. And then you have 7-Star versus Raid. That will be streamed by Wild One's Helper and let's see. Then you have Mercy versus Win. That will be streamed by Fudget. I will be streaming C4 versus Loka. I'm actually going to, yeah. And then you have Win versus 7-Star. Will also be streamed by Fudget. AG versus C4 by Methody and Wild One's Helper. Raid versus G Game by myself. And Loka vs Mercy by Rolling Swarm. I will be posting links and announcement on my server again, like I did today on Wednesday. But that will be the third and fourth round and the second day of this tournament. Where there's quite a lot on the line actually. I mean, like with the prize fund, you have, of course, you have the $2,000 for as a prize pool. Then you have lots of gold being given away. And they get like the top 4 actually gets, you know, that very special camouflage, the red and blue one that only like top favorites have. That's going to be given away as well. So that's actually really cool.